Hello, this is Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com, and today we're doing our shaky cam interior review inside a 2019 Nissan Altima. So this is totally redone this year, so it's completely different. Haven't been in an Altima in a little while. It's been probably 2-3 years at least. I would say at least that long. Altima is similar to so it's in between the Sentra and the Maxima. So it's the midsize, and it's a very, very pretty car, really pretty. If you're looking at it right now, and it's just a good looking car. Wow, they did a good job on this car. There are a few things in here. Everything in here is different, but there are a few things that I find a little quirky, and some other stuff that I think is right on the button. So let's have a look. We'll just get started. Over here you have your windows and so on, and here's your mirrors up here. This is the child lock for the back windows, or all the windows actually, and here is the door locks. You have to get used to that, but it's a Nissan thing. Different manufacturers put them different places. That's where Nissan puts them. Here's your door handle. Here's this. Nissan still has the keyless entry where you have to push a physical button outside the car to unlock it. There is no sensing of just your hand with the key fob in the right distance. Little bit annoying, and you have to learn how many button presses do what out there. It's a thing that I don't like a lot. Because it's terribly inconvenient. Anyway, moving on. Over here, here's your steering assist, so you can turn it on and off. This has Pro Pilot, Nissan's Pro Pilot system. This is the lane, sort of like the lane keeping basically, and you can use lane keeping without having Pro Pilot engaged. So that's what this button would be for. This right here is the deck lid release, so open the trunk. Here's your dimmer. Trip reset. I have yet to find a use for this because you can reset it on the driver information screen using the buttons that are on the steering wheel. So I guess this is just sort of a backup, maybe? I don't know. Way hiding down there, here's your fuel release for the fuel port, and there's the hood down there for the hood. And you can see the dead pedal where my look at that. Isn't that pretty? That's my foot. Anyway, jump right to the steering wheel here. Over here on the left side, this is the infotainment controls. So you can see you have your volume here. This also controls volume on phone calls and so forths. Down here, this skips tracks and or jump stations on your presets. This is the back button. That's for, going back. That actually controls what this does. This controls that. So this stuff's infotainment, this stuff up there. Basically, you go through the menus back and forth, up and down. So back and forth for the main, the large menus, and or to jump to different toggles, I guess you would say, for things, and then OK to change whatever it is. Up and down goes through submenus in those main menus. I'll show you some of those when we get to the instrument cluster. Coming over here, you have cruise control. So you turn on the cruise control using this button. There is no like regular cruise control option. So you turn on the Pro Pilot system. The difference is how long you hold this down. So to get just regular everyday cruise control, you tap this and it turns that on, and it works like a regular adaptive cruise, but does not engage the lane centering stuff of Pro Pilot. As I recall. Now, I may be wrong on that. You may have to do something else, but I will show you another thing you can do as well. So anyway, there's your set, and then here's your sets. Here's your distance control. This cancels it. Down here's voice controls and telematics for making those phone calls. Voice controls in this are good. They're not awesome, but they're really good. Just like a lot of voice controls systems, the menu is really tedious. But you do get used to it, and it does work. Now, back to this. So let's say you turn this on, Pro Pilot is on, you don't really want Pro Pilot. Boom. That's what that button over there is for. So that is what you use I can get it to focus on it. Geez, that is what you use that button to do. So it effectively disengages this. Now, I have heard people say that you can like push this twice and things like that. That never works for me, so I don't know that that is an option. But I will say I really like ProPilot. I should have, if I'd had more time this week, I would have done just a video just on how this works and why I like it. I did a write-up over at New Atlas, so I will link that down below, and I'll save that video for a future date when I have more time on my hands and fewer kids. Fewer kids. It's becoming a long summer. Anyway, all right, dongles. Over here you got your wiper washers and whatnots. So up and down for the usual, and you twist this back and or you twist this, I should say, back and forth for speed control. Pretty straightforward, not really that special, nothing to talk about. Over here, you have your signal turns, then up and down, and then you have back and forth for your brights, and this sets your lights. So you can see they're on auto, and then there's your other options. This is the fog lamps right there, if equipped. If equipped. Okay, looking at the instrument cluster. I'm starting to get hot already. It's only 72 degrees. All right. So over here you got a tachometer. Down there you got engine heat. Engine hasn't been running that long. I just started it up to move it over here for this video. Over here you have your speedometer. Down there you have Canucks miles per hour. Down there is fuel. I did not put a whole lot of miles on this, but I did put a fair amount. So I don't remember what my trip was. I'll have to look when we flip through the menus over there, but I believe it was a little over 100 miles, and that's the fuel usage for that for the total this week. Up here you can see some stuff. This reads traffic signs. As far as I can tell, it's getting them from GPS because it skips a lot of things, and it doesn't screw up school zones, which is a really easy way to tell if it's reading it from a camera versus GPS. Down here's my favorite screen for this. I'll show you some other ones, but I like this one a lot because it shows you not only your direction, but also how fast you're going in digital format. Down here, number of miles left on the tank, gear I'm in, and odometer. So flipping through, let me see if I can reposition this a little bit better. Maybe that's probably good. Now, watching that menu there, I can go back and forth. These are the major menus, so I'm just going to go through all of those. So you can see this is where you change a lot of driver stuff. So driver's aids, driver assistance stuff, I guess is how they say it, but driver aid stuff, and some of the vehicle settings and so forth. You can see the all-important clock. Boom, right? Anyway, going to the next one. This is safety systems. So you can go to the menu for these, and you can change some of them. Like mostly you're just toggling them on and off. So kind of neat. This is the infotainment. Right now it is set to receive Bluetooth audio, but I turned audio off, or Bluetooth off on my phone, so it's not receiving anything. The Sirius XM in here is in and out. I think there's an antenna problem on the car. So I haven't been listening to satellite radio in this car. That's just an FYI. I don't think it's an endemic problem. I think it's just this particular car. Other Nissans I've had haven't had this issue. There's one of the screens that I like. So this just shows your map direction. And then here's speed signs if you really want that front and center. You can see the main menu popping up on the bottom. Here's fuel economy. You can see I averaged 34 miles a gallon. That's not bad at all. Boom. I'll go back to that because we've already looked at the other. So let me see. Where's my trips? That's what I'm looking for. Whoops, that probably was it right there. Going up. Nope, that's vehicle information. There we go. So that's my total drive, 152. So I underestimated myself. That's the amount of miles I've driven on the car and the amount of time I've spent doing those miles. You can see that would, at that much time, at 6 hours for 152 miles, I must have done a lot of city driving. That is totally the truth. I did probably pretty close to half of these miles just driving around town. And yet I still got that banging fuel economy. So that's pretty nuts. I'm really happy with that. This has a great little engine in it. So when I do the full review of this, I will go more in depth on that and the engine itself, because it's a great little engine. So there you go for the instrument cluster. Coming this way, here you have the infotainment. So the infotainment screen is similar to what you see in most Nissans, right? But this is a slightly newer screen. It's new for this car. It's a little more poppy, I guess. So the colors come out a little better, and the resolution's a little better, maybe something like that. It just looks better. And I don't know if it's also the positioning, because it's coming straight up off the dash instead of being leaned in or out. It's just easier to see. And glare, if you're looking straight on it, so if you're like child size, so right here I would be, well, looking at the camera, you can see this is how short I would be if that's what I was looking straight on, right? So that's the only time I've seen glare, and that only affects kids in the back seat. So, you know, who cares? Anyway, this is basically the main menu. So when you push this button right here, you end up right here. Then you have several other options. You can go to the audio menu like this, maps right there, and vehicle cameras, so you can change what you want, and unless the cameras are engaged or you're in drive. So if I put it in drive real quick and I push the camera button, nope, didn't do it. Never mind, I was lying. So anyway, not a whole ton of stuff this can do, but it's actually pretty good. So it is a touch screen. You can go through, you can see some of the stuff that's on here. I really like this, and it's easy, intuitive, and quick, and it's not overcomplicated. It's not terribly capable in terms of what it can do, but it does have more than you would think. Most of those enabled via here, and having either a phone plugged in or having a Nissan Connect services with their extended plan, whatever they call it. And then over here, I'll point this button out. I really like that. Dims it for nighttime. If you don't want to dim everything, you can just dim this. That's kind of nice. So moving along, we have some vents right here, Duke's lights right there. Down here, you have dual zone climate in this particular model. I don't know that that's standard. I doubt that it is. But here's your dual zone climate. You set it, forget it. So you can push auto. I've turned it off right here. So if I turn it on, it looks like that. Turn it off. There you go. Button warmers here. Steering wheel warmer there. Again, these are options. Down here, you got all the vents, right? And under here, if I can get to it, there we go. You can see some USBs. So there's a regular one, and an aux port. And then down here is a 12 volt. Nice. And then this right here, it's rubberized. So you saw this starting to come out. You can pull it out to clean it easily. This is a good spot to throw your phone. It's where I've been throwing mine. I like that spot, and it seems to be getting the job done. So it's a good spot for your phone. Coming here, you see the shifter. Here's the push button start. You have to get used to it being there and not up there. Not really a Nissan thing, because this is the first I've seen it down there in a Nissan that wasn't a big SUV. But anyway, this works in the usual way. Triggers in the front, moves down. You get all your gears here. You do not have a way to manual shift this car, but you do have a way to, I don't know what this does, actually. I never noticed it until just now. I'll have to look. Maybe that does manually shift. Oh, no, that engages sport mode. So that's sport mode. I wish I'd known that. I wish I'd noticed that. It wasn't in any of the stuff I read. Oy. Anyway, there's how you engage sport mode, for everybody who doesn't know that. Down here, you can see your things. Here's the low. This is good for going down, you know, lugging down a big hill, something like that. Park brake. Pull it up to engage, push it down to stop it. Auto hold for the hills. Over here is your drink holder. Having a hard time coming up with names. Drink holder, and I don't know what this, oh, this pulls out the middle part, see? So you grab this, pull it out, so you can clean those. Over here, you got a good storage bin. I like this bin. This tray right here comes out. Down here, you just got a decent amount of space. It's big for a car like this, especially considering this is an all-wheel drive model, so there is a drive shaft running down here. And then just looking at the interior, I really like the wood. So this is the 2.5 SL all-wheel drive. So that's the trim package for those of you who are going to ask. So the trim package includes this beautiful wood and brushed inlay with this, you know, and I like the shape. You see the shape of the dash. It's classy. It looks really good. And it's a little more old school. So it's not like bowing around or doing any of that. It's straight and flat and clean. A little more old school, a little more, would I say, not European. How's that? Yeah. So it doesn't have that European swoosh. That looks good. It looks really good in this car because it kind of sets it apart. Everybody's moving to those curves and everything, and they look really good. I like those, but I like this because it's different and it's lifted. Well, lots of room over there, and I like the differing colors. So you see how they broke it up. So just that little splash right across there kills the black on black on black and makes it look good. Just a nice look. Here you can see the spec sheet. I'll show you that sometime in this video, I'm sure, if I haven't already. And then this is leatherette. Nicely done leather, fake leather, but nicely done, and it feels good. Going to the back seats, you see that. Nice sized. For a mid-sized car, this is a great mid-sized car. Lots of legroom back there. That's nuts. And good-sized trunk. I'll show you that right now. Trunk. All right. And then just really quick for some specifications, here's the Monroney. I'll just show it to you now. So you can see this total package is about $33,000 delivered. Nissan Altima 2.5 SL all-wheel drive sedan. You can see fuel economy is set at 36 on the highway and 26 in the city. I managed 34.4 for my average. When I did fuel economy testing in this car, I got just shy of 35 for my average. So, and I got better than the highway number. So I'll post those numbers below, but my average was slightly better than what the computer's average up on the screen is showing, which is awesome. So such a great car. Nissan did a really good job here. So there you go. I think that's all I got to show you. This has been Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com in a 2019 Nissan Altima. Talk to you again soon. Subscribe.